What's going on, Philadelphia? Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and that is an actual Charlie Brown person standing to my left. That is Vince Quinn. I love the shades, though. The green shades for green holidays, and I am John Barchard, as always. I have got some unfortunate news to start with, everybody. First and foremost, I've had a long conversation with Carrie and the Minshew mustache. And if I ever want to have sex again, I've been told I've got to get rid of this thing.
Overrated. Sex overrated.
Despite the almost, I believe, 70% poll that is in favor of keeping the Minshew mustache for a little longer, I believe I've got to get rid of it after today.
62-38.
Oh,
sorry, John.
All right.
You're never having sex again. It's never happening. It's over. Happy holidays.
Boy, oh boy. So with that, I also probably have to pop the other sex balloon here, no ecstasy of gold this week. We said it on when Barney was here, and I just and there's. Can I get into the reasons why?
Yeah, you can do it.
You hate the listeners?
I hate the listeners first and foremost. Yes.
Yeah, go fuck yourselves, everybody. Merry Christmas.
And it's not because I'm not pumped up for this game either. I'm very pumped up. It's just. Am I wrong? This is losing a teensy-wincy little juice because Hurts is probably not going to play, and my ecstasy of gold was going to be an exclamation point for MVP and all this other stuff. If we're going to, be completely transparent here, looks like Gardner's going to go, but I'm equally as excited, and hold on for that, and I'm going to tell you why, and you should be very pumped up about this week, but do you think that's fair? Like, are we losing a little? Are you losing a little juice? Is Taylor losing a little juice?
Yeah, I mean, this game was supposed to be like Captain America waking up back in the 1940s and slaying the Nazis. You know what I mean? Like, that's what everybody was here for. We're here for a good old hero.
That's what I was thinking,
to beat a good old-fashioned villain. That's all we wanted. It was Jalen Hurts beating
versus
the Cowboys.
Micah Parsons, and now it's just
Christmas Eve, like it was all the storylines were there. Everybody wanted it. Yeah, it's a little different of a dynamic now that Hurts is very likely not in this game.
Yeah, and I want to start there for a second because there's been some theories back and forth in the Discord, bellthebirdmen.com. Make sure to jump into there as well. But, is this total gamesmanship here? Are we going to wake up Saturday and say it's going to be a game-time decision for Jalen Hurts? Do you think it's any possibility here? I don't think so. I think it's all Minshew. But is there any possibility in your mind that they're pulling something here and Jalen's going to be the guy and all of a sudden just pop up on the practice report or whatever it is? As limited participant or something like that.
Yeah, I just wouldn't expect that kind of like Bugs Bunny element to Nick Sirianni. It's just like, if anything, usually the way these things go, it's always like, oh, well, we're gonna see, we're hoping he can play. In this case, they were like, no, he's probably not playing, and now they're slowly working it back. I like them leaving the door open because.
Leave the door open. Sure.
Yeah,
right?
you got to account for it. I mean, what do we talk about? I mean, it's the reason he's injured, but it's also the reason he's a potential MVP. It's the legs and preparing for that and what calls are you going to have and whatever. So, it's a different thing to prepare for. It's another thing to prepare for. It helps Gardner Mitchell. Yeah, let that ride all week. I mean, honestly, I would list Jalen Hurts as a game-time decision if you can.
Yeah.
Just and let it ride.
Fuck with him as much as you want to. Now, including me. It's fucking with all of us, which I think is great. And if Jalen ends up playing this game, I'll be really disappointed that we didn't do ecstasy of gold. So I'm just throwing it all out there. I don't want to jinx this. I don't have a good record against the Cowboys either. Just don't like it. It's a third road game, but that is not displaying any form of non-confidence here towards the Philadelphia Eagles and Gardner Mitchell. Because can I tell you what I honestly believe is going to happen here?
Sure.
They're going to kick the ever-living shit out of them. That's why it's not even a challenge for me to This is starting to feel more like a Bears game, and not because of Jalen Hurts' injury. It's just the Dallas Cowboys have already checked out too. I smell it. I can feel it. Between Diggs saying MVP to Jalen Hurts on Instagram the other week, and then Micah Parsons just looks like such an asshole after all the talk up to it, all the MVP talk and all this hey, we're going to go and do this thing, and now they made this game almost not matter. They took the juice out of it a little bit, and guys, Gardner Minshew this whole time, because I was reminding Vince in the car this whole conversation. Gardner Minshew is going to have one of the games of his life, and it's not because of probably what you're thinking on the surface, because I know it is I don't even want to comment on it because God knows what type of a relationship, and it was a close one between Gardner Mitchell and Mike Leach and all that. And I know he's had a tough week, but beyond all that, I think we have downplayed how much better this guy could have possibly gotten in the offseason, and we really don't know or have a good idea of how much better. Do you want to know why? I'm going to take you back to training camp. When we were looking at training camp tweets, and I'll even take it back a little further, the stupid, I'll call it stupid now, the stupid Derek Gunn report about, hey, Jalen didn't have exactly the greatest OTA, maybe Gardner Minshew did, had a better one, whatever it is. And then as soon as training camp rolled around, be like, oh, okay, that was hilarious. But here's one thing we never saw during training camp. Do you know who Gardner Minshew was throwing to mostly and struggling against? And, like, I remember Elliott Shore-Parks charting that he wasn't having that great of a time. There was a part of it where Jimmy Kempsey was getting in there and saying, like, hey, this QB2 position thing looks up. Reed Sinnett is taking over snaps. I think you bit into that apple a little bit too, rightfully so, by the way.
Yeah, they were getting me a little bit with that.
And then the preseason game happens. Reed Sinnett looks terrible. Gardner Minshew looks sharp as hell, and you're going, well, what's the difference here? Do you remember who Gardner Minshew had been throwing to from May, basically, until August?
No.
Jalen Reagor.
Oh, God.
Jalen Reagor was on this team, and you forget about that the entire time, and that is why you're struggling, because he's making Kirk Cousins look like an asshole in a 33-point comeback. He's doing all the same things, and you're just clicking and going, yeah. And Reed Sinnett, I don't even think about it anymore. Where is he? Hanging out on the beach somewhere, enjoying a cup of coffee? No idea.
No idea.
This guy spinning it, and I know it's all anecdotal bullcrap when it comes around this time, but I'm biting this apple big time. That guy spent the entire summer in a trailer, then brought it to NovaCare and spent it there. He has wanted this opportunity, much like he did with the Jets opportunity. This guy has started before in this league. He is way above Cooper Rush in terms of head talent and decision-making. He is looking sharper and sharper. He is not doing anything but going crazy and focusing on himself on the last bit of rookie contract is here. Do you think for a second that he's not going to throw 4 touchdowns in this game? Because he is going to, and we're going to be right back here going, oh, John, look at this Homer idiot talking about the backup quarterback again. And nope, we're going to have a conversation starting Monday or Sunday morning from there on out, discussing how good this offense is, and that's why Jalen Hurts shouldn't be MVP. That's how good of a game he's going to have, and that's not to knock down Jalen Hurts. That's not to knock down any of the bullshit that's coming that way. I'm just saying that talking head, yada, 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 NFL media is coming because of how good of a game he's going to have. He is going to light this Cowboys defense up. They have no idea what's about to come here. And it's not a prolonging thing. I don't think Gardner Minshew could ever do it for 18 games or whatever it is. And, man, like, maybe 2 years from now, we'll all be wrong about that too. And he's hanging out at some, I don't know, the Cleveland Browns and slinging it and finally breaking that curse or whatever. But I think we have downplayed how much better Gardner Minshew has gotten, and we haven't seen a true opportunity yet. And he's just been sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then one of his mentors passes away the same week that he gets his same start. I know what I would be thinking. That's all I'm saying. This is going to be a bloodbath, man. They're going to crush. Not only that, you've got Micah Parsons still floating around in the locker room. That offensive line wants a piece of him too, man. Miles Sanders, Gardner Minshew, Dallas Goedert destroying this team on the road because the quarterback is healthy. That's it. That's why. and Dak is going to do Dak things, and everyone's going to – and the other thing that's annoying me this week is just like how many excuses that the Cowboys fans really do have floating out all over the place on saying this really isn't that bad of a team. They actually sound a lot like you did a couple of weeks ago when you were pumping them up there. And I'm so glad you used your superpowers for good. Yeah,
they were good then. Yeah, now they're not.
But like they're scrambling for answers all over the place. You know, they're not health is a little bit of a concern for them right now, too.
I'd say a lot of a concern. I mean, they've got injuries all over the place.
They do.
Offensive line and the secondary, defensive line, which is a major strong suit for them. So you got injuries there. Sickness. Apparently, there's some sort of whatever, which everybody's getting
Doesn't
sick
help.
everywhere right now, all the time. I mean, it's brutal out there for all of us, and Dallas is going through that too. So yeah, all the things going into this game look pretty bad for Dallas. They've played like shit recently. I mean, look, they need this. They need this pretty bad. One, they have no hopes of the 1 seed, but if they're deluding themselves into it, then yeah, you need this. If you don't want to
they posted an article today on how they could still get the 1 seed. So
yeah, it's
somebody's thinking
hope
about
and
it.
Pray are the 2 steps. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, for whatever seeding and matchups and whatever, like they're going to have to try to win some games here. But man, yeah. If I'm the Eagles, I still want to kick the shit out of Dallas for this game.
Absolutely.
Because they went after Jalen. He's the heart of the team. Like, who the fuck are you? I mean, this was, wasn't it DeMarcus Lawrence at the beginning of this year? There was like,
started yap.
he hasn't played us yet. And then, I mean, they won. He wasn't immaculate in that game, but they won. So, like, okay, and then they still come out again and go after him again. So, yeah, I think everybody on this team wants to kill Dallas. I think Minshew, it's a little bit different because he's always wanted to start. And that's what people discount about Minshew. Like, there's so many guys in the league that just know they're backups at this point. Minshew's only 26. He only played in Jacksonville, which is a complete shithole. And that whole roster's turned over since he's been there. You know, like, there's been so much change. So, for him to get opportunities last year, he plays the Jets game. What does he say? I want to start. Oh, that late into the season with Jalen Hurts and his draft status and whatever, he said, you know what? I should start over this guy. I won this game. I want to keep going. They were like, no. And so he's still here. But he's playing to get a contract. And that's what's interesting, not just for this game, but down the stretch. Gardner Mitchell, this is the audition now. This is his chance. I mean, it's funny enough because he's kind of Folesy to me, but Nick Foles, same thing. Indianapolis Colts, last 3 weeks of the season, getting chances to start, prove yourself, make your money. Minshew's going to be a Texan. But I weep for him.
Jet.
Oh, love him as a Jet. I love him as a Jet.
Robert, are you listening? Come on, talk to Howie. Pick up the phone. I know your buddy likes to talk to him too. I like that.
So and get us the comp pick, baby. Give him the contract. But yeah, I think Minshew's going to be as locked in as you could absolutely expect. Same thing for him. Second year in the system. Weapons are better. Offense has evolved. There's a lot of reason for him to have a good game.
Well, you led me right to the water here, Vince Quinn, because listen, I know that there's this huge game theory going on. As long as Jalen Hurts is healthy, I want him starting. If he needs to get out there to get back into the rhythm, I want him doing that. But I'm just going to float this out there. If Jalen still needs to get to 100% and feel good, and there's nothing to play for going into the Saints game, let's say Gardner starts that for health reasons again. Let's just make sure you are cool. Now you are crushing the Saints' playoff dreams. You make your pick better. So what are you really fighting for other than getting Gardner Minshew a little more time and reps with this offense? Maybe you throw him in with the 2s, and you have some teams maybe audition for him in the offseason before, that free agency officially hits or whatever, and you can make that trade, or you can, however Howie Roseman kind of does his magic. What if you could trade him before the offseason begins?
Well, they can't. They can't
or
just because he's going to be a free agent. So like,
I know those rules work where you can like hold on to their rights for that last 7-day window. You can make a trade in between there for the tampering thing, and still. I'm just saying, big brain, big picture. That's a bystander of it, but regardless, why wouldn't you just have Jalen Hurts chill and let Gardner get reps?
Yeah. If
that's the way it goes, I'm fine with doing that as long as Jalen doesn't screw up his rhythm, or if he wants to get back out there, fine. But I think Gardner the whole way, to be honest with you, if you lock this up on Saturday,
Yeah, if you win this game, there's no reason to play Jalen the rest of the way here. Let Gardner Minshew get the reps until he's 100%. And look, if he is 100%, you know what? He makes the choice that he wants to play Week 18 against the Giants, and Sirianni and everybody else says, yeah, we're going to play this game. We're going to play it well because we have the bye essentially after this. Then he's earned the right to do that, So I won't begrudge him if he does. But right now, his shoulder's jacked up. I'd let him sit. So let that go. And for the Eagles' standpoint, too, I mean, this is where it gets interesting because I'm talking about a comp pick. Like, if Minshew plays well for 3 weeks, you can argue same thing. It's the offense and whatever. But, like, somebody's paying that guy. And he's going to have all those opportunities. But if he comes out and he looks average or kind of forgettable and like a backup, well, then the Eagles could keep this guy pretty affordably as a backup for the next couple of years, which I don't mind that either.
I would love that.
So, yeah, like let the market bear itself out. I know Minshew's going to do everything in his power to try to start somewhere, but if the deals aren't there and he can get comfortable money and he can come back here, I think he'd do that. So it works out for the Eagles either way. You just get a better idea of who Minshew is on this team and what he is as a quarterback at this stage of his career.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Gardner Mitchell will ever be like a long-term starter for anybody, but man, I just feel like he can be, given if, this type of offense, if some way to build it, like you build anything, like you build around Jalen, like you build around anybody with a cheap-ish contract. I still, there's a part of me that does feel like Gardner has some more upside value, especially with the rest of the backups like in the NFC East. But in the NFC alone, I don't know what you want to call the 49ers situation exactly, but if we're going to talk about like easy offenses and whatever, 49ers, Jesus, like that seems like Gardner Minshew could fit really well in that offense and like still hang out with Trey Lance and still figure out where you're going wrong.
Jimmy G,
I would do that. Why wouldn't I? That seems very logical to me. He seems like a Kyle Shanahan type of quarterback.
He does.
So, and he's quick. He makes those decisions quickly. So I do feel that he could possibly be the next best quarterback in the NFC from like every other starter in the league. If a starter goes down, I'm picking Gardner Minshew. I don't think there's –
yeah.
So I didn't think I'd be saying that like a year ago. But the Eagles are so fucking good at this, man. Like that's why I'm not worried about this week. I'm not worried about the next couple of weeks. The only thing I'm going to be annoyed by is everyone bitching about Gardner Minshew's success, and that means that Jalen Hurts' success is not good anymore.
Which is so dumb.
Which is the dumbest thing on earth.
It's so dumb. It's just a misunderstanding of what makes him good. And, like, I've bitched about that enough. I've stated the case enough, so I'm not going to do that again. But, man, yeah, to go like, oh, this backup played one single potentially good game, then, yeah, it's not a good argument against the MVP. It's like, why can't both things be true?
Yeah.
Of the quarterback is great, the team is great, the coaching right now is great. It's just all of that together. I mean, look, we never look at a guy that's a good player on a shitty team and go, he should be the MVP. Never happens. Got to have a winning record. So by default, the team's pretty good. Yes. Like they're winning games. Other players on the team have to be good, because if it's just one guy doing stuff, they're not any good. They don't do anything. They don't win games, and you're not in the conversation. So it's like, what do you want? Do you want an MVP that wins games or not? Because there's plenty of MVPs that don't win shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like not going to tell you I know everything about early 90s football, but like how many MVPs could Barry Sanders have won? They didn't do shit. Like, they didn't do shit. So what do you want? Like, it's just that you got to pick a lane here. You got to figure out what you actually want from this, and nobody ever talks about losers. So
right.
He wins games. Like, I don't know. Maybe he should have lost one or two more, or we should have asked A.J. Brown to drop more passes.
What he should have done is got himself into a deficit and then come back from that deficit and then put up all those pretty little numbers to show how efficient you are in scoring, and then that's...
Well, and
that's what happens.
It's funny because he kind of has, and then he's had game-winning drives as a result of that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and he's also fucking
like,
kicked motherfucking teams off the field and rested for 11 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what you want him to do.
Should have been down to the wire, John. If you let these other teams in down to the wire, and then he scored in the last minute rather than being up by 21 points, then maybe he'd be the MVP.
Yeah.
That's really what it. I need closer games, John.
Yeah,
I need more drama.
Closer games are actually better. Did you know that?
It helps your case.
Yeah, you're actually a better football team if you win closer games as opposed to blowing people out. So, speaking of getting blown out, I know that your vocals are going to have quite a tough time over the holidays because of all the booze, all the wine, all the things you need to do. And you're going to be on the road a lot. So please, safe travels wherever you're going, because I know the snow and the wind and all that stuff is happening. And there's no better can to take with you on the holidays than Liquid Death Mountain Water. One, recyclable. Don't buy that plastic crap. It's going to go in a dolphin's mouth at some point in time because it's not recyclable. It ends up in a landfill in New Jersey. Second of all, this is the best damn stocking stuffer on the planet. I'm showing it to the YouTube audience. If you don't know what Liquid Death is, by now, 16.9 ounces of aluminum murdering thirst filled with, the delicious water from the Alps that goes into my mouth and soul directly. And if you put that in a stocking stuffer of any kind, I guarantee you're the best uncle, funkle, aunt, grandma, grandpa, niece, nephew, whatever it is to you. You will get giggles and laughs and probably scares with Liquid Death. So go to liquiddeath.com/Bell to find out where you can get Liquid Death on your road trip, wherever you're going these holidays. And I'm keeping this can forever because it seems like we're running out of it all the time.
Well, so much for giving it out as a gift. But I got to tell you, it's funny because like it's hard to get gifts, man.
It's terrible to get gifts.
I'm having an impossible time. And I always do. It for all these different reasons. One, we're running around like crazy doing all this with the studio and the show, and we're traveling the goddamn country this year. Like,
Thank you, Philly Sports Trips. We'll see you real soon at the Sixers game too.
Yeah.
Because amazing.
Yes. So like it's all been great, but it's just like that to find the time of what makes a good gift. Because here's some of the rules for me. Like, I will never buy somebody clothes.
Why?
I won't do it.
Why?
Because what am I buying them? What am I like? I don't know what their style is for the most part. Like,
Yes, you do. You see, I see
No,
what
that-
you
that's
wear
just-
and what he wears every single day. I would pick out clothing for you if I go, oh, this reminds me of Vince or this reminds me of Taylor.
see that scares the shit out
Terrible
of me.
idea.
I try not to. I have very
Wait, you're with
selective
him, T?
places.
You're with him?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Like maybe like a hat or something.
Yeah.
Like, that's a safer bet. But like,
You're telling me if I walked in here with like a really cool shirt from Philly Sports Shirts or something like that and be like, hey, I thought of you. This looks so good. You'd be like, oh, man, that'd be a tough time to figure out what John wouldn't want to wear?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, part of it is I don't want people buying stuff for me. I hate when I get clothes bought for me. It's
I don't
a very,
mind at all. I'll take all the help.
Because people are like, oh, this is something that you should wear all the time. And it's like, I don't know if I like this is something to wear all the time. Like, I don't wear a lot of things. I always thin out my closet. I'm constantly donating clothes,
know.
and I just have a couple of hey, giddy up. And let me wiggle the glasses too. But like when I do that kind of stuff, a lot of times what happens is I give clothes away. I might buy a couple of things on the cheap that I like that I can wear a lot, and then once it's run into the ground, I'll replace it with something else. So like it's just hard to be like, could you buy me a size 11 shoe? I don't buy shoes, don't buy clothes. I try to dodge that stuff. So like trying to think of other people and what to get them, I feel like I got to know. Like the only good gift to me is replacing shit for somebody. Like it just feels like a slam dunk. This is my mother coming through. I'm channeling mom energy big time. But like what I would always do, she always did it to me, was like, oh, I'd have an Eagles hoodie, for example, and it was ripped as shit. Right where the hood comes to the top of the hoodie, it was ripped. Right, I had holes at the end where it changes. So I had holes in between, so my thumb came through, and it was ripped at the top. My mom hated it. So what do you know? She gets me a new Eagles hoodie. You know what I mean? And it was like, okay, so like, I
so
think
there is no piece of clothing that I could get either one of you as a gift, and you'd be like, oh, holy shit, this is totally me, and I didn't even know I needed this thing. But I do need this thing.
it's possible, but
it's a
is
massive
it likely?
risk. Yeah,
Yes.
massive risk.
Man, I'd like to put that to the test someday.
Yeah.
Oh, don't
So
do
what
it.
do you guys want as gifts? Like, what is because I saw this going around, and we're going to exchange gifts, by the way. So that's going to be on the next
We are, which is
in-person episode. And just like typical
going to be very
guys, we're
funny.
so late, and Vince's present's late, and I think his half is late, and
I have a good
Taylor
story.
forgot his and all that fun stuff too. So, but what it's like, do guys really not want anything?
I don't.
I don't have a that's a thing that always happens. Like guys just don't want gifts.
No,
I don't think that's
it's-
true. I just don't think we ever know what we want, and you're a great example of that. Like I would never get my friend clothes. You wouldn't like if I found us an Overwatch party for fucking 10 hours where we go hang out with a bunch of other fellow nerds and just go crazy. That
Yeah.
wouldn't be a good gift.
Okay,
That'd
see,
be fun.
That's the one lane that I actually lean into. Is not specifically Overwatch parties. I deleted the second one. We can talk about that another time.
nice, yeah.
But
Spicy.
they pissed me off.
Ooh.
But
Whoa.
So I didn't even buy it.
anyway, it wasn't worth
See,
it.
look, you would have
And-
messed that gift up.
Yeah.
No,
Over-
the
yeah.
original Overwatch. I didn't say Overwatch 2.
Well, Overwatch 1 is dead, and Overwatch
Yeah.
2 is free, and it's not worth the price. But when you think about like stuff like that, that's the one thing I'll try to say to people is like events, like maybe tickets to something. If I have the
Yes.
time to find something that's worth it, like I'll do that. But otherwise, I really Like, I used to get DVDs as a kid. I used to get video games as a kid. I don't really ask for those anymore.
Because the technology's dead.
Well, it is, yeah. I'm not going to be like, hey, I don't know, could you pay for this rental on Amazon Prime?
Like,
you want to Venmo me $5?
A slam dunk wouldn't it be getting us the Kelsey Myalata albums and just being like, hey, guys, here you go. I mean, I know you can't get the album anymore because they're sold out, but like even the digital purchase, like, here you go, guys.
Well, is it on
something?
It's not on Spotify?
Pretty sure it's on all digital platforms.
Well, then yeah, don't buy it for me.
In 2 days.
Yeah, like
So-
I mean, I don't have a record player, so don't buy me the vinyl. Like I just don't.
Well,
So
no, not very. I'm just. I don't know. Like you would. So what if I bought you a record player and the vinyl? Because you're an old soul.
yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
am.
saying.
But then
You
you've
got to put 2 and 2 together.
but then you've initiated me in a hobby.
yes, of course.
Yes, but that's a major commitment for me.
That's not a commitment.
Yes, it is, because then I have a record player now.
Yeah,
I'm
in
either going
case
to build the
someone
infrastructure
on
for the record
Earth
player.
ever finds like a funk record that you might like and it's the original printing and be like, here you go, dude. Thought you would like it.
Yeah.
On vinyl.
And then I'd be like, oh, this is Spotify? And I just Bluetooth it to the speaker over here, and that's all I need.
Well,
I'm
you know,
good.
they've advanced technology where you can have like a Bluetooth record player that spins vinyls and connects to your Bluetooth and all that
yeah,
stuff.
but
So, like,
I don't need the record player.
oh, boy.
I'm adding
he
steps.
is the new Ray Diddy.
I know
He
there's
sounds
Jesus
like
Christ.
Larry David.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, okay, let's amend this. Vince Quinn is very hard to give gifts for because paper, pen, and that's it. Paper,
A
pen,
nice
video
set of
games.
pens is a good gift. I
It
think,
is.
for him, yeah.
Yes, for as much as I write, a nice set of pens would be great.
Oddly enough, it's tipping some of my hands for the next episode. so.
Oh, buddy. Well, yeah, I don't want to talk about how I'm going to look next episode, but outside of that, yeah, I just getting gifts is hard for people. I feel like you got to be around somebody to see what they're doing all the time to like understand what a good gift is, because otherwise I'm shooting in the dark, and a lot of times I feel like
But
people
isn't
won't
a
admit
good
if you
gift-
got them a shitty gift.
It's a shitty gift, and not to your partner, your soulmates, or whatever, because you should, you gotta be on the same wavelength there. But like, isn't your time a good gift? Just if you're creative about it.
My
Did you-
time? How?
Like, I want to go take you to this particular concert. I want to go take you to this. We're gonna have a movie night, and it's gonna be a thing, and it's not just like your normal. Just juice it up with something fun that's like, hey, we're something to look forward to.
Yeah, like something like that, I can get more behind it, like an experience, like
An
doing
experience.
something,
Yeah.
things like that. I can
not
get,
a rub your hand coupon for an hour. That's not what I'm talking about.
yeah, but otherwise, and it's like I don't know. Can you pay for a part-time employee for the studio? Like,
Yeah,
you know what
there
I
you
mean?
go.
Like, what am I going to ask people? That this is what I
What's
think
wrong with
about.
that?
This is what all my well, nobody
It's a
does
big
that.
fucking gift, by
Well,
the way.
yeah,
but yeah,
it is. So that's the thing. It's like it's like I don't know. Yeah, could you help me afford a mortgage? Like I can't. You know what I mean? There's so many gifts that I just don't want. I won't use enough. They're nice ideas. I don't have the time for it. I just feel like people take all these dramatic swings, and it's like. And I've done it myself.
What do you want?
I'll buy like an ice cream maker when I'm 17 for somebody, and then it's like, oh, I'll never make this shit. Thank you. I'll never do it once in my life.
So buy a $500 mutual fund for Vince Quinn for the holiday season.
Cash is
Thanks,
great,
man.
Cash or an Arby's gift card. I don't. I don't know. I just like
Arby's gift card. All right.
Yeah, food. Food is fine. Food is like
Taylor-
a meal gift card.
When somebody asks like for gift ideas, what do you tell them?
A nice bottle of liquor.
See, and that works. That's fine.
Brown stuff for Vince.
Isn't that always how it goes? It's like liquor, some gadget, some sort, and that like
No
that's,
gadgets.
that's the box that we're kind of like in. My mom always gets me a book that I never read, like
See?
all the time.
That happens every year, and you never.
Like I just
All those years
it's
of
a,
books.
It's a biography about someone that I have no interest in at all. It's just like and constant, which I think is the best thing of all. It makes me smile every year. I look forward to it every year. Here's John Bon Jovi's biography. I'm like, yeah, nope.
Because every year you're getting these, you're going, oh, thanks, Mom. This is great. And she's like, oh, this is great. I'm just going to do this every year now. And now you've got 30 books that you've never read.
But it looks nice up on there. It's like, oh, you're into Bon Jovi? No, not at all. Well, regardless of that, we hope that you have a wonderful holiday. If you're in the middle of Hanukkah, we hope that is being glorious and wonderful. And, Christmas is just around the corner. And to me, why can't we just the last 2 weeks of December, just everybody just chill? Can we start doing that from now on? Because I lump them all into one thing. It's just better Thanksgiving, a slightly better Thanksgiving, right? That's what we're all going through right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know who loves giving time off? American corporations, John. They love giving time off at this time of year. What better time than now to let the people actually go home and enjoy themselves rather than, I don't know, being a target at 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday because somebody's got to buy something on Christmas Eve that they forgot. Like
A soda maker.
Yeah. So see, there you go. So like it's stuff like that, which I have one of those like seltzer makers that I've used like 5 times. You know, it's just like it's just what it is.
Well, I feel very bad for Vince Quinn, who cannot come up with gift ideas. But I am not sad that the Eagles are going to kick the ever-living crap out of the Cowboys. And I can tell you this. There are some gifts for you on the way, the ones that you've been waiting for. So you will have pizza. Our good friend that won the Always Open hoodie, that is on the way. We are sending gifts out left and right. And Crane Holmes, my friend, you are getting a bottle of our Bell in the Birdmen soda because you waited so long on a whole bunch of awesome stuff. You supported us from the beginning and can't thank everyone enough for subscribing, listening, giving words of encouragement. That's probably been the best gift of all this entire season for us, is to be able to be on the road with Philly Sports Strips, drink as much Liquid Death as possible, and having you guys by our side in our Discord on the text line.
And on the road, just hanging out and
man.
seeing people on the road. I mean,
Yeah.
like meeting Jeff this past weekend, made shirts for us. It was really cool. Met his
So
kids.
amazing,
Like,
Jeff.
it was awesome. So, yeah, thank you to everybody.
Thank you so much for Taylor Kredatus, for Vince Quinn. We will see you here Monday with reactions to Dallas and a whole lot more. We'll see you right here on bellandthebirdmen.com. Bye, guys.